Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for the VICKI BOUTIN design team, and this week we're working with the junk journal and the new Color Kaleidoscope collection. We haven't worked in the junk journal. I have it. You're gonna see I'm actually have two. One of them is full of my projects and another one is the one that I have all my stamps and my stencils. And I think I need a new one. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna play a little bit with the watercolor markers and a little bit of yeso. But before I show you what I'm doing, I'm gonna apologize because I have a really bad cold this week. I'm actually highly sedated, so I'm gonna sound really stuffy during the voiceover, and you're gonna see that honestly, this took a lot of my energy. I have very little energy this week. That's what happens when a kid comes home sick and then the mothers absorb it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using a mixed media insert for the junk journal, and I'm just applying yeso using my brayer because I want an even thin coat of yeso on my paper. I know I'm gonna add water, so I want to make sure that the paper doesn't warp, and I'm gonna set it aside to dry. Now for this particularly, I wanted something really blue. I wanted something, when I think of blue, I think of water, I think of serene, I think of calm. And because I'm, like I said, what I work this, I usually work ahead of time, but last week I was taking care of my son who was sick, and now this week I'm the one that's sick. So I wanted something that was going to be simple and fast and effective. So what I'm going to do is I'm mixing a little bit of blueberry pie, that's the name of the watercolor marker, with a little bit of water, and I'm going to apply it onto my yeso junk journal insert using my brayer. I want something very distressed, and I'm just going to add the pigment just to the edge, kind of just forming just adding pigment to the frame of the layout in this case. So you're gonna see that I'm not being careful of how it lands. I want something very distressed in a way. So you're gonna see that I'm just rolling the brayer just from the edge in. So I'm actually adding a little bit more of pigment with some water just to dilute it. I don't want it that concentrated, and also because I'm gonna use a lot of the water. So I'm just mixing everything together and just using my brayer just to, like I said, drag the color inside. You're gonna see that it looks very distressed, but wherever the water is pooled, it's gonna get a darker tone, and wherever there's water pooled, it's gonna get kind of a bleach tone, and I love it. If you know my work, then you guys know that I love distress. Now I'm gonna add a little bit extra water to the leftover paint that I had, and I'm just gonna drag it in a bit, and you're gonna see that you're gonna see some splotches and also some areas that looks like it's bleached. Now I wanted to bring another tone, just like an undertone to this. So whatever paint that I had left over, I just added a little bit of oh my god, what's the name of this paint? I think it's the Blue Hawaiian. It's a really soft teal, and I just added a little bit, mixed it with the blue, and I'm just dragging it in. And all that's gonna do is gonna bring a little shade to the background and also create this splotchy kind of bleach tone to it. And that's about it. I'm gonna set it aside to dry completely on its own. I'm not gonna use a heat dryer because I want it to be completely flat. So I'm gonna set it aside to dry. While that is drying, I'm gonna work on fussy cutting some of the butterflies, and these are from the Color Kaleidoscope collection, and I'm gonna use some from the 6x8 paper pad and also some from the 12x12 paper pad. I want different sizes because I want to create the illusion of them flying on the page. Once my background was dry, and it didn't take too long to dry, maybe because the heaters are really going full blast here in Toronto. It's still cold, still snowy outside, so we have the heaters going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a frame of leaves on top of the distress area that I have, and I'm going to use iridescent glaze, but I'm going to mix it with a little bit of yeso. I wanted something white, and I didn't want to use yeso because I didn't want the matte look of the yeso. So I'm going to mix the iridescent glaze with a little bit of yeso, and what you're going to create, it's going to be a paste that is whiter than the iridescent glaze, but it has like a satin look to it, and I love the look of this. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring, this is one of the stencils from the botanical set from the Color Kaleidoscope, and all I'm going to do is kind of drag a little bit of the mixture or the paste that I added just from the edges in. You're going to see that maybe it's the fact that I'm really sick, that it was kind of just distressed the way I added. I'm being careful not to go all the way in. I'm being careful not to have the line of the, the edge of the stencil. So I'm trying to put that outside and just work. Like I said, I'm just thinking I'm dragging paint from the outside in. The same thing up. Sorry, not paint, the paste. And you're going to see that I'm kind of forming the frame around the page. This is all I'm gonna add of mixed media, like to the background. I didn't want something really messy, and to be honest with you, I really didn't have the energy to do much more. So I'm gonna use pretty much all of it. You're gonna see that in between applications I am drawing, because this base is gonna dry faster than just iridescent glaze on its own. Maybe it's the fact that it has the gesso, it just dries really fast. So I work really fast, then I set it aside to dry, and what you're gonna see is that it's not as like concentrated as probably you can say iridescent glaze on its own. It kind of takes a translucent tone to it, and I love what this turns out. It still looks distressed to me, which is up my alley. And all I'm doing right now is I'm adding a few more drops of the color, just to I don't know, it's just I wanted a few more drops of color just to create more of the distressed look. And then I am gonna go ahead and just gonna start building my layout. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some of the holographic paper. Sorry, I'm just gonna cut like a little piece to frame the picture, and then I'm gonna add some pieces of ephemera. You're gonna see that I'm gonna kind of stay, I'm gonna say that I stayed kind of monochromatic for this layer. I wanted, like I said, when I think of blue, maybe because I'm sick, I just thought, you know what, I want something really peaceful, something serene. And this is a picture of my baby and I. Whenever I'm sick or I'm home by myself, he loves to be next to me. So I usually bring my camera and take a picture with him. If you want a pet that you know they become your babies. So like I said, going back to the layout, I'm just gonna create kind of a big cluster around the picture. It's not even cluster, I don't want it to be that busy. I think the background's busy enough. So all I'm doing is, like I said, after I added a piece of the vellum, I'm adding a piece of foam adhesive just to lift up the page, the picture a bit. I added that piece of note paper that comes in the frame ephemera pack, and I'm just gonna lift the edges a bit. I'm adding that heart that has that teal, because I have, remember, that undertone of teal that I added. So I'm gonna actually add a few more of the pieces that I'm adding have that newsprint look, because the butterflies have that look to them. So I'm gonna add a few pieces of that. I'm bringing that teal butterfly from the sticker set just because it matches that little highlight that you see in the heart. And after that, I'm just adding a few stickers, and I'm going to start adding the butterflies. You're going to see that I'm going to go from big to small, and then kind of create some movement with them around the page. So I'm going to kind of cluster them at the bottom of the picture, and then move them to the top of the page and kind of cascade them to the bottom. And then I'm going to add my title on the other side of the page. And this is one of the chipboard stickers. Again, I'm going for that kind of cork newsprint look that I see on the left hand side. So I added that you are so loved, and I'm also gonna bring another sticker that at the bottom that says remember this. And then I'm just gonna work on adding another accent of teal silver, one of the puffy stickers from the puffy word stickers, and I just added it to my title. And you see that I'm going to put the glue on top of the butterflies just to make sure that they stay in place. I am adding some foam adhesive behind some of them just to give them a bit of a lift. And then to end this layer, all I'm going to do is bring the new iridescent glitter glaze and then just add a little bit of it. I'm not being careful, but when I'm picking up the glaze from the bottom, I'm using a brand new brush, is I'm trying to pick the big chunks of glitter to sit right in the middle of the butterflies. And because of the light, I don't know, this glitter glaze is amazing because it's catching the teal color or the blue color of the background, and it's showing a teal in the pictures, and I'm loving because it's matching the colors that I have in the background. And after that, all I'm gonna have left to do is add some lines of journal right under the title. And I added a few in the cardstock stickers, there's little hearts that are holographic, stars. So I added a few just so they catch the light to some places. And that's about it. Like I said, super simple, super easy, and it took all the energy of the day for me. If you have any questions on how this come together, again, don't hesitate to contact me. I would love to help you. Thank you so much for joining me. My apologies sounding really bad. I'm like I said, a little bit under the weather. Don't forget to check out Vicky's stuff. It's amazing. And I hope to see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.